Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise, and wow, the hypocrisy from the left, especially Sunny Hostin, just keeps getting better. Remember when she went all in on Matt Gaetz, calling him corrupt and immoral? Yeah, and after a lengthy investigation, the DOJ didn't charge him at all. She had to eat crow, admitting she was wrong, though of course she couldn't do it without a smug twist claiming the system failed us. Classic Sunny. But now the tables have turned, and she's in hot water thanks to her husband, Dr. Manny Hostin, who's been named in a bombshell RICO lawsuit. Funny how leftist media hasn't made much noise about this, but here's Patrick Bet David breaking it down because, as expected, those folks are too busy ignoring their own scandals. Let's get into it.
Hostin, her husband accused of committing federal insurance fraud in a lawsuit. Okay. Now let's read this. Rob, is this a video?
Well, I have this. I'll show you this about.
Let me just read this and I'll come to you. So, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon and husband of the View co-host Sunny Hostin, is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney, Daniel Twites, denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance fraud. Vinny, what do you know about that?
Okay, so here's the deal. Sunny Hostin's husband, Dr. Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon, has been named in one of the largest RICO cases ever filed in New York. And for those unfamiliar, RICO isn't your average lawsuit. It's serious stuff involving allegations of fraud, corruption, and shady business practices. According to the suit, Dr. Hostin is one of nearly 200 defendants accused of participating in a scheme involving kickbacks and fraudulent medical billing, targeting insurance companies covering taxi, Uber, and Lyft drivers. The kicker is this. The lawsuit demands over $450 million in damages. Here's how it allegedly worked. Doctors like Dr. Hostin would refer patients, often from low-impact car accidents, for unnecessary surgeries. Instead of recommending simple physical therapy, they allegedly exaggerated the injuries, referred patients to surgery centers, and collected kickbacks. Meanwhile, the surgery centers billed insurance companies for hefty sums, leaving them holding the bag. Of course, Dr. Hostin's lawyer denies everything, calling the case baseless and a tactic by the insurance companies to avoid payouts. But here's where it gets interesting. Sunny herself, who loves lecturing America on ethics from The View, once admitted on national TV that her husband has to sue insurance companies just to get paid. Funny how that comment hits differently now, huh? Let's take a look at what she said.
Now, wait, hold on. Let Sunny get in here.
I mean, I agree with mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it. But the notion that we aren't a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country. And it's just undeniable that that's the case. And so I'm not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence. I'm not surprised that this young man thought that change could be accomplished through violence. 1 in 4 Americans say violence against government sometimes is justified. And today, in 2024, 1 in 10 Americans say violence is justified right now against corporations
Scary.
and government.
That's very
That's
scary.
those are just.
And even though I don't think he might change something, he might have laid out a plan for a copycat. That's what I see.
Look, I'm no legal eagle. I'm no legal expert, but maybe don't preach about lawsuits when your husband's allegedly caught up in one of the biggest fraud cases in New York history. I'm just saying. But let's talk about Sunny for a second. She lives in a 10-bedroom mansion in Purchase, New York. We're talking luxury beyond most people's wildest dreams, yet she spends her days lecturing regular people on The View about how they should live while ignoring real issues like inflation, illegal immigration, and the rising crime that we're all dealing with. It's peak hypocrisy at its finest. But back to the lawsuit. This isn't just about Dr. Hostin. If the allegations are true, it's about elites exploiting the healthcare system while ignoring ordinary people's insurance premiums continue to climb. And Sunny, she defends a broken system while reaping the benefits. Now, whether Dr. Hostin is guilty or innocent, the accusations are serious, they're detailed, and hard to ignore. Meanwhile, Sunny keeps getting away with spouting nonsense on national TV, and honestly, that's the real miracle here. You guys remember this? Let's take a look at this.
Really? Well, how about we add some additional fraud charges onto you? And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud, which I would say you could get about 20 years in prison. So that's a death sentence for him.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. Sunny had no problem vilifying Matt Gaetz without a shred of evidence. But when it's her own husband caught up in a scandal, silence or its victimhood. It's a classic double standard, man. They love accountability until it's their turn. And remember how she celebrated Trump's indictment over flimsy charges? Oh yeah, the hypocrisy writes itself, man. The hypocrisy writes itself.
I was at my daughter's high school graduation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I didn't feel somber. I felt like the Knicks won the tournament. I felt like America won.
Yep.
I felt like New York won. I felt like the Manhattan DA's office won. I felt like I won.
Hey, I don't even know what to say about that. When it's Trump, guilty on sight. But when it's Sunny's husband, suddenly he's just a misunderstood guy trying to help people. Cut it out, man. The double standards are glaring. Look, everyone's entitled to an opinion. But when you're Sunny Hostin, always preaching about justice and truth, you should hold yourself to the same standard. We all know that it's not happening, though. And let's talk about facts. Matt Gaetz basically exonerated. Sunny's husband, knee-deep in a lawsuit with specifics, fraudulent surgeries, kickbacks, and insurance scams worth millions. And Sunny, she's on the record bragging about how her husband has to sue insurance companies to get paid. If that doesn't raise eyebrows, I don't know what will. This is classic deflection. Sunny tears down Republicans for political clout, but expects everyone to look the other way when her house is on fire. And the media, silence, crickets, nothing, absolutely nothing. No wall-to-wall coverage, like Gaetz got, because the left protects their own. So here's a tip, Sunny. Before throwing stones, check your glass house. You and your husband, y'all in deep, deep, deep water. No smug monologues on The View is going to change that. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on so you never miss an upload. Consider supporting the channel financially. Link in the description box below. You can buy your man a coffee. I appreciate everybody that has supported the channel thus far. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. And we'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so